What's going on, everybody? All right, so today let's keep on talking about this whole thing with the DCEU and this rumor that's going around with David Zaslav trying to restore the Snyderverse as a plan B. Like we've been talking about that, and you've been following me, you'll be up to date. As always, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe and let's get into it. You already know the deal. All right. So what up, Ray? Appreciate you for watching. Everybody that's tuning in as we wait for these notifications to go out and stuff like that. So again, today's gonna be a fun chat, and this is gonna be very interesting because with the way that things are going right now, it's honestly it's very interesting with the way that things are shifting. And remember, I've been telling you all that things are going to be shifting here on out because things at WB need a solution. And the solution is the Snyderverse, the DCEU, because that's where the money was at. I don't care what anybody else says otherwise, in the sense of, oh, well, it didn't make money. It made more money than where it's at today. That's for sure. All right. So, hell yeah, wallets closed, my friends. Keep those wallets welded shut, meaning do not spend a dime. WB knows it, and they know and feel the pressure because honestly, at the way that things are right now, I'm telling y'all, this is interesting. It's very interesting. What up? What up to everybody? Appreciate y'all. I see y'all in the comments. I see the comments coming in. So I'm just trying to keep up with y'all and stuff like that. Yes, we're going to keep calling WB. Hell yeah. A big shout out to you because you are the one that motivated me to call WB. And here we are, and it's working. Things are working. And that's what we need. We need this right here. This is the motivation. Continue using the old ways and make Diaper Man flop. Hell yeah, we already know. And that's where we stand at as a community, as fans, and it doesn't matter. WB is seeing us, they're hearing us, and I can imagine how many calls they're getting, especially with all of these updates that are coming out. Always remember, these are all rumors. But let me tell you guys some facts also, because I've been seeing in the comment sections, and yes, I've been deleting and blocking people because of the negativity. And we're not going to focus on that. But what we're going to focus on is that let's look at the positive. All right. When we were fighting for the Snyder Cut, a lot of people were bashing on us. Blue check marks, official accounts, everybody on social media, all of these people in Hollywood, they were all hammering us. Remember that. And what did they say? The same thing that they're saying again today. They wash, rinse, and repeat their same quotes. Move on, give up, let it go, blah, 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 right? And what do we have now today that you can go online and watch on HBO Max, or you can go anywhere, either online or, in stores that carry physical media? That's right, the beautiful Zack Snyder's Justice League. Physical copy. You want it digital, you have it. You want it physical, it's there. And I have mines in 4K. I was able to get mines at the time at Target. And honestly, it's amazing, and all the products that WB puts out with Zack Snyder, they all sell. All of them. You'll never see them on clearance. It's very rare, unless it's an outlet that they can't move it because the area that they're in, so they're forced because of the consumer product and things that just don't sell. But besides that, you're gonna catch them everywhere, sold out and at regular price. So what does that tell you? That everything that Zack Snyder did at WB made money. Tickets sold, people were out watching these movies in the theaters, and it was just awesome, honestly. Can you say the same thing about, you know, the DC brand if you want after Zack Snyder? No, no, you cannot. And honestly, they know it. WB knows that they screwed up. They know that they screwed up big time. Think about it. Let's rewind time and let's go back. All right. Interesting that you say that right now. David Zaslav knows where the money is located. Exactly. He knows where the money is at. And let's be real. Let's talk right now. Besides fans, I want each and every one of you, wherever you are around the world, to listen to this closely. Put yourself in the position of a business owner. All right. You're the business owner running your company, whatever company you want it to be. Right. And then you know that it's successful with the management and with the staff that you have, and everything is working good. Now, let's just say that all of a sudden you have this one bad seed that comes in and starts telling you, hey, you know what? You should change this, you should move this, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, you start seeing that your sales are dropping, things are not working like they were when you had the previous management and the way that things were going. So, what happens? You're going to be like, whoa, hold on. Okay, something is going on. It's not the consumer, it's not the customer, it's not the company, it's not the brand. Okay, what could it be? It's the bad management. That's in everything. When you have bad management, that's why you lose quality. When you have quality, is because everybody's on the same page. When Zack Snyder was at WB, what happened? The studio, WB themselves, kept on getting in the way and started ruining things for Zack since the beginning. All right. Everything happened starting with Batman versus Superman. And then what happens? WB wants to be like Marvel because by the time that that came out, we already had Iron Man, the first Iron Man. And then what happened? WB wanted that money, the same like Marvel. They're like, whoa, hold on. They have this, then we want to do the same. But then what did Marvel do? They copied Batman versus Superman and we got Civil War. We already know the story and the drama with that, right? Now, let's look at everything that happened with Zack Snyder, right? When Zack was there, the studio kept on getting in the way. You had executives like Toby Emmerich, Kevin Tsuchihara, Walter Hamada, and the list continues, right? So what happens? Every time Zack wanted to put out something, there was always a but. No, but this, no, but that. Oh, but the customer. Oh, but the fans. Oh, but the service. And where has that but led this company to? Look at where it's at right now. It's a joke. Their stocks are all completely down. And then when they go up, this is the funny part that some of these James Gunn clowns try to justify. It went down $10, right? Let's say it's at 10.50. It drops now at 10.39. Oh, all of a sudden it went up to 10.50. Oh, it went up. What, a few cents? 15, 20 cents. That's it. Come at me when those numbers are in the high hundreds, and they're not. When Zack Snyder was there, the stocks were, I think, like at 70 or 80 something a share. Big high time numbers for WB. And what happens after Zack is gone? Everything goes down. After the Snyder Cut, everything has been going down and it keeps on dropping more and more. This is why, when you compare it, when Zack was there, the studio kept on screwing him over and they wouldn't allow him to fully unleash his potential. If the studio would have said, you know what, let Zack Snyder do what Zack Snyder has to do, the same like Kevin Feige is doing over at Marvel. And where will we be at right now? We would have been on top. We would have surpassed Marvel. Seriously, I'm telling you right now, we would have been on top of that mountain. You know why? Because we would have been getting quality with all of these films and everything that Zach wanted to give us. But it was WB that they were too scared because, of course, you had Rotten Tomatoes and you had all these fake critics coming out and telling WB, oh, Zack Snyder doesn't understand these characters. Yes, he does. He's given us something new, something original, something unique, and most of all, something different. Sometimes, as fans, we can't accept something new. Now, I'm not trying to hear, I'm not trying to justify James Gunn and this whole reboot because we already know that that's already DOA. But what I'm trying to say is when Man of Steel came out, people still went out to see it. When Batman versus Superman came out, people went out to see it and it made money. The problem is that WB was too scared of the fake media. WB said, you know what? Rotten Tomatoes is saying this and they're saying that. Like Ben Affleck's Batman said, all these, what is it, puff pieces, puff editorial pieces or something like that in Batman versus Superman, is just telling you, yo, you don't have to listen to the fake media. That's exactly what they are. They're fake. If you pay them, they're going to lick your butt. If you don't pay them, they're going to talk and be all against you. And that's the problem in this industry. When you don't bend the knee and you don't give them what they want, they come after you. Zack Snyder was not about pleasing the media. Zack Snyder has even said it. He didn't want to do what they were doing at Marvel. he wanted to do his own thing, the DCU, which was with Zack Snyder. Let's not forget the whole term of the DCEU came from us, the fans, and it just stuck, and WB just ran with it, and that's it. But the real true DCU is with Zack Snyder, because if you go back to San Diego Comic Con when they're announcing Batman versus Superman, he even says it. This is the DC cinematic universe. It's right there, the DCU. So what Zach was doing, he had a game plan. But the problem was that WB didn't allow Zach to let all his power out in the sense of making these movies. Batman vs. Superman was supposed to be rated R from the beginning. Suicide Squad from David Ayer was supposed to be rated R. And look at what we got at the end. We got Studio Squad. Yeah, I get it. We have the uncut version, but it's not the true vision from what we are fighting for when it comes to, the Ayer cut. Now, let's fast forward time. Now we have the Snyder cut. Now everything has fully unleashed, because now you have everybody coming out, and people that didn't believe and they didn't like Zack at the time, now they're cutting Zack Snyder some slack, and they're like, yo, the Snyder cut is awesome. Of course it is. That's the true vision that he wanted to put out. Now, what's crazy and what's wild is, how does this studio not see that? It's not that they don't see it. They know it. They know it's quality. Now, when you hear that WB regrets releasing the Snyder cut, it's not because it's a mistake and it was an error. No. Let me clean that up for you clowns, for all you doubters and all you non-believers. When WB is saying that they regret releasing the Snyder cut, it's simply because they know they will never be able to reach that same quality that Zack Snyder gave us with the Snyder cut. Zack Snyder paved the way, and he raised the bar so high that nobody at WB, not James Gunn, nobody has been able to reach that level of quality. Nor will anybody after Zack Snyder will ever be able to raise and reach that bar. That's how high Zack Snyder set the standard. He changed this industry. We, the fans, are part of history with WB and DC. It could be 50, 100, 1,000 years from today, right? It's forever going to haunt the studio in a good way. Why? Because people are always going to look back and say, you know what? Thanks to the fans that didn't give up, they got what they fought for, which was the Snyder cut, when everybody was against it. And I get it, during COVID was perfect timing. We finally got it. Yes, HBO Max needed people to watch and to subscribe. They needed money during that time. And that's exactly what they got. The servers crashed. It was too much traffic online. And not Marvel has done that. What Marvel movie has done that? Crashed their Disney Plus service? None. And there'll never be one. Because what Zack Snyder did was peak, was quality, was amazing. It's awesome. It's a great film. A lot of people can't watch it because they just don't have the patience to sit through 4 hours. But when you're a real fan and you appreciate Zack Snyder's Justice League, you appreciate the level of quality, of details, and everything that Zack put into that movie. It made numbers. It crashed the servers. WB still hasn't released the numbers. You know why? Because they know that they're going to be proved wrong. And their ego doesn't allow it. The same thing happens with James Gunn. How come when it was Godzilla versus Kong came out, they were able to get the numbers like within a few hours? How come when Tom and Jerry came out, they got the numbers within a few hours? How come when The Suicide Squad with James Gunn came out, they were able to get numbers? How come with Wonder Woman 84, they were able to get numbers instantly? You know why? Because they're trying to hide the fact that WB, the executives, are all dumbasses and they can't admit their mistake. They screwed us. They screwed you, the one that's listening all over the world. All these years, they've been screwing us. We're the customer. We're the consumer. We're the loyal fan base. And this is how you reward us? You still can't give an apology to Ray Fisher? You still can't come out and say, yo, we screwed up, but we want to make it up to you. If anybody from WB is listening or comes across this, please pay close attention. You need to give your fans what they want. Your fans are asking. They've been demanding. They're willing to give you money if you restore the Snyderverse. After all this that's been going on, all these years, I think that WB is like a stubborn type of person. You have to learn the hard way. You get what you freaking deserve. You turn your back on the Snyder fans, on the Snyder community, on Zack Snyder, the actors, the actresses, all that quality, the music composers, everybody. And you saw that people loved it, but you refuse to continue it. And then you want to go ahead, bring in James Gunn from your rival competitor, which is also known as Marvel, the MCU, because you're so desperate that you want to be exactly like them and you think it's going to work. No, my friends, you're wrong. It's not working. It hasn't worked and it will never work. This is not Marvel. This is DC. DC has always been dark when it comes to their movies in live action. Batman 89 is dark. Batman 1992, Batman Returns, is darker. And what happened? They didn't want to move forward and do Batman Forever with Michael Keaton. So what did we get? The Marvelized Batman, which was Batman Forever. And then what happened? They wanted to do more Marvel style, colorful, bright, cheerful, happy, silliness, goofy, ridiculous, bonkers. You see what I'm saying and where I'm going? And we got with George Clooney, Batman and Robin. Yes, it's a cheesy film, but for its time, it is what it is. You look back now and you're like, what the hell happened? And that's exactly what's going on now. Until we got Christopher Nolan and they brought quality back again to these movies. Because with the Nolan verse, under the Dark Knight trilogy, look at how amazing those three movies are. The first two, the third one's kind of whatever. But the point is that with Christopher Nolan, when he was there, he brought in quality and they made money. And what happens? After the Nolan verse is done, Nolan told WB, because WB wanted to do something new, something different. And who appointed the DCEU leader to WB? Zack Snyder. It was Christopher Nolan that told WB, I can't do it, but Zack Snyder can do it. And that's what happens. It was the birth, the beginning of the Snyderverse with Man of Steel. Before Man of Steel, I've told you plenty of times, I personally, as a fan, never cared about Superman. I never cared about him until Zack flipped the page and he surpassed the level of quality. I was like, whoa, what is this? This is a whole different gameplay. This is comic, but it still feels like a real life movie. It's not like The Dark Knight, but it's still on that level, but it still feels comic book. It doesn't have to be exactly copy and paste from a comic book page. It was serious. It was respected. These characters felt so legit. And I'm like, yo, these people are onto something. And then what happens? Boom, Batman versus Superman. But what was Zack trying to do? He was trying to build everything. He started off with Man of Steel, and then he was going to do Ben Affleck's Batman. Because remember, at the time, when the rumor came out that Ben Affleck was going to be playing Batman in this new universe, a lot of people were against it. At first, I was kind of skeptical. I was like, I don't know. I mean, let's see. And then what happens? We get Batman versus Superman. And then WB's like, you know what? Let's get in the way and let's screw his plans up. And that's what they did. Because when Zack was going to make Batman versus Superman originally, it was going to be R-rated. And what happened? The studio released what we got in the theaters. A lot of us were like, something doesn't seem right. And we fought the studio then. That was the beginning of us fighting the studio because we got the ultimate cut. And you could see a big difference. The ultimate cut to what WB released in the theaters. So this is where WB starts to panic. And they're like, you know what? We can't let this happen because we have Rotten Tomatoes. We have all this fake media talking bad about us. In other words, quote unquote, bad publicity. No, it's not. It's just that they were scared, they were punks, and they feared the backlash that people were not used to because now everybody's under, the mind control of the MCU. Oh, the Marvel formula. Because Iron Man did this and Iron Man did that. Oh, but Iron Man sets up at the end the Avengers. Oh, you have this one and you have, oh, they're doing something. Oh, Zach wasn't focused on that. Zach was like, I'm going to do my thing. It's going to be R rated for mature audiences, real film lovers that can accept the quality that he's going to put out. But what happened? WB was too scared because of the backlash. If WB would have said, you know what, we give the middle finger to the fake media and we're going to continue to do what we have to do, I guarantee you all, I would guarantee you that WB would have been where Marvel is at today. Straight up. They would have been in the $1 billion club, and the MCU would have been below them. Because let's be real, if it wasn't for Zack Snyder, and we're going to talk more about this, if it wasn't for Zack Snyder, Kevin Feige wouldn't have Endgame because Kevin Feige was stealing ideas from Zack Snyder. Oh, I'm going to get a little bit of Batman versus Superman, and they even admitted it. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and copy a little bit of what he was going to do with Justice League. Oh, let's go ahead and get a little bit of Wonder Woman. Let's get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And let's just call it the MCU. And look at what they did. Of course, because Disney, they have Disney to back them up. Who does WB have to back them up? Nobody. And they still don't have nobody to this day. That's why it's like, WB, you clowns. How did you literally let this happen? The most iconic characters in history, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and you have no clue what to do with them. Now let's fast forward time. If WB would have been like, you know what, Zach, do what you want to do, however you want to do, and in the end, we'll see what happens. I guarantee you, we would have been in a better place. And now, talking about the whole thing with Kevin Feige, notice how right now the MCU is falling apart. It's not a coincidence, my friends. It's not. All of a sudden, Kevin Feige doesn't have ideas for his MCU to be working. Let's put that together and let's analyze this. But let's speculate at the same time. Kevin Feige doesn't have any material from Zack Snyder to steal from and call it his own. How come Marvel is struggling after Endgame? How come when the Russo brothers was telling Zack Snyder when they were eating a slice of pizza, hey, what would you do in Justice League 2 or any other projects? What did Zack say? He didn't say a word because Zack knows that they're trying to fish for info. They're trying to steal ideas. Notice since that interview till the day of today, Marvel has not come up with anything good because they don't have anything to steal from Zack Snyder anymore. That's the difference. Kevin Feige has not run out of ideas. Kevin Feige just doesn't have material to steal from DC with Zack Snyder. That's the difference. Because when you put side to side, remember, and I've spoken about this a lot of times, how come when Zack was at WB and in the original plans, Batman was supposed to go out? But jokes on Marvel, you know why? Because they took out Iron Man. Also, he sacrificed himself. That's what Batman was supposed to do in Justice League. But look at how Zack is smart and ahead of the game. He probably threw that out as bait at Marvel bit. And now Marvel is screwed because they don't have an Iron Man. They have to use an AI of Tony Stark to replicate. And not only that, they have to know how to use AI so he can play a variant of his character. So they can try. I see what Marvel is doing. They're trying to by the time we get to Secret Wars, they're trying to sacrifice themselves. That's what Batman was supposed to do. None of that happened. Endgame didn't take place. It's gonna be a variant, and he'll be back as Iron Man. You'll see. They're gonna do the same thing with Captain America because they know that that's what the fans want. That's what the fans liked, and that's what was making the money. After Endgame, nothing has been the same. How come Marvel can't come up with something good like they did with Infinity War and with Endgame? Because Zack Snyder's not there so they can rip off his ideas. When Zack was at SnyderCon, right? Back in 2023 in April, when him and Ben Affleck were there. Ray Fisher was also there. But let's just focus on Ben Affleck along with Zack. You could see the interviews online. Go look it up. If you don't believe me, go look at it. That's the source. So I'm gonna tell y'all right now. So to everybody's like, oh, what's your source? That's the source, bruh. Go look it up. Go do some research. Come here, spoon feed along with Ben Affleck. Would you come back if WB wanted to continue with you? Zach was like, hell yeah. He's like, I'm ready. I want to come back and do the Dark Knight Returns with Ben Affleck. And Ben Affleck was like, I'm down. I'm ready. And what did he say when they were filming The Flush? That he enjoyed it. He liked it. He had fun compared to when they were filming Justice League. We already know the drama with Joss Whedon and Justice League and all that stuff. But the point is that Zach has not once said, neither has once Ben Affleck said that they're done. And I get it. When Ben Affleck was going through his, dark moment with the alcohol and whatever he was just trying to sober up, of course he was depressed. If you were in his position and going through what he was, I mean, you had to remember media all in your face. You can't do anything because he's gonna be stressed. Plus the filming. Hey, we're not filming with Zach. We're filming with Joss Whedon. It's not the same. And we already know that Joss Whedon was a complete rude person on set. Whatever. The point is that Ben Affleck and Zack Snyder both said that they're waiting for WB to give them the call. They're waiting. WB, the ball is on your court. Give the fans what they want. I guarantee you, if you were to make a Ben Affleck movie right now, you will make $1 billion or more. If you let Zack Snyder come and do The Dark Knight Returns with Ben Affleck, I guarantee you, you will make money. And now it's proven that without Zack Snyder, the DC cinematic universe I'm talking about, I'm not talking about comics, I'm not talking about video games, I'm just focused on the movie division. I guarantee you that they will surpass their numbers and their stocks will be sky high. But somebody or something at WB is not allowing that to happen. Now, when you look at the big picture, when Henry Cavill was back for Black Adam, look, let's cut some slack and let's give credit where credit is due. I personally, not you, maybe you don't agree with me, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, was able to get Henry Cavill for that little cameo because we were on the path to success, rebuilding the DCEU and continuing the Snyderverse. But what happens? We have a wolf among the hen house. What do I mean by that? We have in the background James Gunn lurking. At the time, the rumors were flying, 2018, 2019, that they wanted to replace Henry Cavill. And at the time, somebody said that it was David Cornsweet. Let's fast forward time, 6 years later, where we're at right now. We're getting a Superman reboot movie with David Cornsweet. Is it coincidence? No, people. It's not coincidence. This was all an ambush. This was all planned. This was all sabotage to try to get rid of everything that Zack Snyder had created. But joke's on them because with The Flash, when Zack Snyder came back, he was able to restore the timeline and erase what Joss Whedon did with Justice League. So we got that repaired. That's one down. What's going to be the power of The Flash You could reset time, no, to the most powerful weapon that WB has, and it's the multiverse. The multiverse can bring or it can erase something in a timeline. And you're going to tell me that the Flash can't reset time like he did in the movie and he erased everything that has to do with the Snyderverse? That the Flash can't erase everything in the DCU and what James Gunn has created with Peacemaker, Creature Commandos, with what's all this other thing too, with Superman that he's doing, and the Suicide Squad? Of course he can. Of course he can. The Flash was able to reset time when Darkseid won with the Mother Box. Everybody had went out. Everybody, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, all of them went out. You know that scene in Zack Snyder's Justice League. If the Flash is able to stop Darkseid, reset time, and it didn't happen, don't you think that he can also go back and fix it and erase the events that James Gunn started creating with the Suicide Squad? He took out Captain Boomerang and he went out nasty. You think that the Flash can't reset time and that never happened? Of course it can. The Flash can't go back and erase everything that happened before the Suicide Squad actually takes place? Of course he can. He can reset time and we can pick up where we left off and continue with David Ayer's Suicide Squad. And then open the door, open the timeline for David Ayer's Suicide Squad 2, a proper Suicide Squad follow up, whatever you want to call it, and erase everything that James Gunn has done. Jokes on James Gunn and jokes on DC because you just created a double edged sword. It could work with you or it could work against you, but you've been creating something against you because now your stocks are low, your numbers are not high, nobody's interested, the fandom is completely divided. Simple. All you need to do is go back, fix whatever needs to be fixed, the same way how Spider-Man sets up in No Way Home. He fixes this timeline, he screwed this one up, this never happened, that took place, this didn't, blah blah blah. The same thing that the Flash can do. He did it in Zack Snyder's Justice League. He did it in The Flash. That's 2 times he's done it. So you tell me that Zack Snyder can't use that again with the power of the multiverse? Sure he can. Sure he can. And it could be done. This is why let's fast forward and let's talk about what I posted up yesterday. All right? That rumor. So for everybody that's been asking, what's your source, bro? The source is botleak.com. That's the source, bro. Google it, research it. The source is botleak.com. That's it. Do the research. Now let's put 2 and 2 together, right? This leak all of a sudden came out, right? Right now is a rumor. But don't forget, WB at the Snyder because we got his trilogy and we're moving forward and we're never going to get the Snyder cut and blah blah blah. Where's Ann Sarnoff today? Not at WB. What do we have now? The Snyder cut. See the win that we won? Thank you. Now the same thing is about to happen. Remember, James Gunn recently came out, and let's put 2 and 2 so you can see the big picture. James Gunn recently said in an interview 2 things. He said that he was miserable filming Superman. That's James Gunn saying it. I'm just quoting him. You saw the video. I posted it. Go look at my search history and you'll see it. It's there. And then all of a sudden, James Gunn's saying, hey, the future of the DCU depends on the fans in July. And he has all the weight of the studio on his shoulders. That's him who's saying it. He's admitting it. All the pressure is on James Gunn right now. All that pressure, the budget, the marketing, the filming, the actors, the cast, everything. Everything right now is on the weight of the shoulders of James Gunn. Right now, everything depends on Superman. It's about sending a message. And the message is telling WB, we're not going to put up with what you want to give us or what you think is best for us. We're the fans. We know what we want. You wanted to do this reboot. We told you it was a bad idea. We wanted Henry Cavill. You replaced him. Look at what you've done. This is the mess you created. You were on the path to success with Black Adam. Things were starting to rebuild with Black Adam. Remember, they filmed extra scenes for The Flash. When the DCEU was coming to a quote unquote end, remember, the timeline was supposed to be what was Black Adam. We were supposed to get after Black Adam Aquaman 2, and everything was supposed to finish with the Flash, resetting the timeline. But what happened? They fast forward everything and they completely rushed everything. So they moved up the Flash, they delayed Aquaman, and look at the end result. See what I'm saying? They took away Ben Affleck from that scene that he was supposed to be stuck in another dimension, another timeline, telling Barry, hey, come find us, we're still here, meaning the door is still open. But what did James Gunn do? He replaced Ben Affleck with George Clooney. See what I'm saying? You see the big picture? It gets from bad to worse, from worse to what the hell's going on. And then what happens? Nothing. Nothing else happens with the DCEU. And then all those extra deleted scenes that they're probably sitting in a vault somewhere right now, when they filmed with Ben Affleck, with Gal Gadot, and Henry Cavill that were supposed to appear at the end of Aquaman, setting up more future events. Because remember, we were supposed to go into Justice League 2. What happened? All of that got scrapped. And not only that, think about this. When you look at it and you put it together, the facts and the evidence is all right before us, my friends. The pieces to the puzzle are all right in front of us. Very simple. You have that part of the puzzle right before us. The air cut is right now sitting in a vault. It's there. It's incomplete, but it's there because it's already filmed. What else is there? That's right, Batgirl. It's not that David Zaslav didn't want to release Batgirl because it was a shitty film. He didn't release it because James Gunn didn't authorize it because it was going to screw up the plans for James Gunn. Remember, James Gunn said it in an interview right before Aquaman 2 came out. James Gunn said himself he didn't want to put anything with Ben Affleck's Batman or any of these supposed to happen. Oh, hold on. Let's analyze that. So you're confirming that you have extra deleted scenes you filmed, not him, but just in general, the studio filmed. You have this footage somewhere in a vault, the same like Batgirl, the same like the air cut. It's not about that doesn't want it to see the daylight because it's going to screw his plans up. Remember, remember this. Batgirl has Michael Keaton. Batgirl has Ben Affleck. Batgirl also has Jim Gordon, that's from Zack Snyder's timeline. It's not a different one, it's the same actor. It's the same Jim Gordon. So hold on, let's look at the big piece. Hold on, you're telling me you guys have all the pieces to the puzzle? Hold on, because the air cut's supposed to connect with Steppenwolf for and building up to Zack Snyder's Justice League. We've seen the pictures that David Ayer has posted. Hold on, it's connecting. You're telling me that Batgirl is being trained by Ben Affleck, but you have Michael Keaton that came out in The Flash, and it's supposed to set up a Batman Beyond, but you guys at WB decided to cancel that because you wanted to move forward with a parody of Superman, how we're getting right now with James Gunn? No, no, my friends, it doesn't work like that. This is why wallets closed. I, as a fan, am not supporting this, and neither should you. Why should we support a studio that doesn't want to give us what we want? If you don't give us what we want, then we're not going to give you what you want, which is money. See the big picture? It's money. So you think that getting away from Zack Snyder, right? And not only that, they even have the nerve to go ahead while all of this is going on and replace Ben Affleck and bring in Robert Pattinson. Oh, we're gonna give you a new Batman. Oh, hold on. You think I'm supposed to just eat that up? I'm just gonna be like, yeah, this is good. Let's go with it. It's not going to work. It's not going to work, my friends. The only way that all of this is going to work and WB is going to make the money is by restoring the Snyderverse. Robert Pattinson didn't work. It's not working. Nobody's interested. Peacemaker, it's not working. Creature Commandos, it's not working. The Penguin, it's still not working. Superman, it's not going to work. Nothing after Zack Snyder has been working at this studio. It just hasn't. What has made $1 billion? What? Joker, the first one? Okay, but that has nothing to do with James Gunn. That's part of the Hamadaverse. And of course, it was the first Joker movie that we got. So, of course, everybody's going to go and watch it. But how come things change with Joker and Joker 2? Remember, I told y'all. Remember, I said it. Just because they're bringing in Lady Gaga doesn't mean that they're going to make money. And a lot of y'all in the comments, you can go and see it. A lot of people said all type of nasty things to me. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're delusional, blah, blah. And what happened? The movie tanked. The same thing with Superman. That's what's coming. In a few months, I think what we have like a few days, like 100 and something days or whatever, that movie's about to tank. It's DOA. It's DOA. They know it. The studio is panicking. So what do they need to do? They need to go back to the drawing board. Remember, there was a rumor sometime last year. I told y'all, a lot of people have been talking about it, other channels too, that right before this restart of this reboot, there was a rumor that David Zaslav wanted to restore the Snyderverse. That was supposed to be his plan B. It's taken them this long because WB is finally learning the hard way, and probably some senses are finally going through David Zaslav, and he's realizing, hey, we either cancel everything that James Gunn is doing, or we have to restore Snyderverse. It's easy, baby. All you have to do is restore the Snyderverse. That's it. Continue it. What's so hard? Put your ego to the side. Give the fans what they want. You want to have this whole different type of what is it? What they call it? Elseworlds. Go for it. You want to have Robert Pattinson doing his thing at a different timeline? Go for it. I don't care. You want to go ahead and have James Gunn doing his thing? I don't care. Go for it. But include us. The Snyderverse is still part of this whole universe. If you want to call yourselves the worlds of DC, you can't exclude Zack Snyder and his universe. You can't exclude David Ayer and his universe. You can't. It's all one shared universe. It's still part of it. If it wasn't for David Ayer, we would never have Amanda Waller with Viola Davis in James Gunn's shitty reboot. Let's give credit where credit is due. Thank you, David Ayer, because you selected Viola Davis to play Amanda Waller. Thank you, David Ayer, because you picked Margot Robbie to be Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn would have never been in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad if it wasn't for David Ayer, who selected her to be that character to play that role. Thank you, David Ayer, because thanks to you, you respected the source, you respected the fans, and you brought in Ben Affleck as Batman to do a cameo versus the Joker and Harley, and at the end, setting something up, which was Ben Affleck's Batman, Bruce Wayne, talking with Amanda Waller. You all remember. See what I'm saying? It's all connected. Thank you, Zack Snyder, for bringing Jared Leto and putting him in Zack Snyder's Justice League in that epilogue scene where we see Joker, Batman, the remaining cast members of the Justice League, along with Deathstroke, about to face Superman that's under the power of Darkseid. And Darkseid has won. He's actually taken over. For Zack had a plan, but it's not just going to be a plan. be thrown out there for someone else to take the idea. Zack Snyder knows what he's doing, and he's playing his card right. Marvel is shaking. They're crumbling. Nothing is working with them. They haven't been the same since Endgame. And DC has not been the same since the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut raised the bar, it opened the door, and it completely has made WB regret it because they know that they'll never be able to reach that level of quality again. Look at the big difference right now. James Gunn's DCU versus Zack Snyder's DCEU. Big difference. It's not the same. The style, the editing, the colors, the atmosphere. James Gunn's DCU is already crumbling and it hasn't even fully, completely flourished. It hasn't opened to what it's supposed to be. But here you have some fans still trying to defend it. It's not working. Their stocks continue to drop. How come with Netflix, they're winning? They're making money. See what I'm saying? All we need to do as fans is do what we're doing. One, keep those wallets closed. Two, continue to use Restore the Snyderverse. This is why I tell you guys and girls everywhere, continue to use Restore the Snyderverse. And I am so proud and happy that yesterday was the day for Restore the Snyderverse. We trended, it moved, and you could see the video. The amazing is that more people are starting to use Restore the Snyderverse because that's the whole point. We need to send the message. What we all want is for Zack Snyder to continue and finish his version of the DC with these characters within his universe. That's it. After that is complete, do whatever the hell you want. I don't care anymore. I just want a proper conclusion and closure to this cinematic universe. That's what majority of us want. That's all. That's all what we want. And a lot of us are doing our part. This is why, like I told you, when I call WB, sure, it's not the number directly to them. There's no, let me tell you, there's no clown out there that loves to like stalk my page. Let me tell you, Bozo, something. You're probably in here listening, but let me specify something to you. WB doesn't have a direct number where you can call. That's why you hear the lady when she says there's no direct number. They don't have a customer service number. It's just you call and it's one of the numbers in the lot of the studio. Don't call me at 1-800 and I go directly to customer service. They don't have that. That's why whoever picked up said what they said. You have to keep on going on social media. That's it. That's how we win on social media. And yesterday, once again, we proved it. We made noise. We're being seen and we're being heard. The message is being passed around the studio. Okay, we're not going to come there in person, but we can call you and tell you, hey, we want more of it. And when they start hearing, hey, everybody's calling again about the Snyderverse, like they did back then in 2021 for the Snyder Cut, something is going on. Whoa, the fans are speaking. They're demanding. They want what they want, respectfully, obviously. Whoever calls insulting and saying all this negative stuff, those are not real fans. Those are fake fans. They're imposters trying to make us look bad. That's it. The real fans, we call respectfully and we tell them, like you heard me talking to the lady, not being rude, just being kind, being nice. Thank you. Have a good day. That's it. And the point is that I'm sure that after all these calls, the tweets, you can imagine David Zaslav at his desk. He's just typing, minding his business, doing whatever he does as a boss. And then all of a sudden, his assistant, another assistant comes in and be like, Mr. Zaslav, we've been getting reports that people are calling about restoring the Snyderverse. We're getting people saying they want Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. We're getting people saying bring Zack back. The calls don't stop. It's been non-stop all day. I'm sure all of that is gotten to David Zaslav. And he must be like, you know what? He scratches his head and he's like, we need to do something about it. We need to. And I know that David Zaslav is right now in a way nervous because he knows, like that rumor saying, if James Gunn doesn't deliver, which we know he's not going to deliver in July, everything is literally going downhill after that. This is why they haven't approved of anything moving forward. Everything kind of stops right now with Supergirl next year. But don't forget, next year in 2026, James Gunn's contract is going to expire. And rumor has it that WB doesn't want to move forward with him because of everything that he's costed them. And this year, 2025, sometime like in, I guess, the late fall to expire. Can things happen and change? Of course they can. Are they going to? Yes, it's happening. You're seeing it. I told y'all in 2026, in January next year, Comcast is coming into play. And you think that there's not going to be big shifts? You better believe it. There's going to be some massive shifts. I'm telling y'all, you have to keep looking at the big picture. If you, again, talking to you as if you're a boss, you're running your company and you see that your company is going to the ground and it's not producing the way it was, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and let it just run to the ground? No, you're going to take action and you're going to try to solve and fix whatever the problem is so you can put a solution to it. And once that happens, what happens? You're reaching quality. It's going up again because that's what fans want. Customer service. That's not hard. It really is not hard. Especially when you have the proper team, everything is possible. Nothing is impossible, my friends. Nothing in life is impossible. I don't believe in excuses. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm a person that if I don't find a solution now, I'm going to find it eventually, but I'm going to find a solution. You can't be in life, well, it's not doable. There's some fans that are like, the Snyderverse isn't going to be restored. It's not going to happen. Get it, let it go. Just give up. Excuses. No more excuses. The facts are James Gunn is going to tank at the box office with Superman. Period. The door is about to open for the Snyderverse to return. The Snyderverse has never been erased. It's just been set to the side. The money to be spent, WB knows the products of Justice League, Batman versus Superman, clothing line, shoes, everything. McFarlane Toys is constantly putting merchandise. They sell out within minutes. What does that tell you? That people want more of it. If people would have moved on, none of this stuff would have sold. None of it. Why would companies be doing something, for example, with Batman versus Superman, a movie that came out, what, almost 9 years ago? And they're making a clothing line of that. How come they're not doing nothing with James Gunn's DCU? Haha, you see, my friends? Because they know it's not going to sell with James Gunn, but they know it's going to sell with Zack Snyder and his fans. James Gunn doesn't. That's why, in the end, when it all comes down to it, no Snyderverse, no money. Period. That's where I stand. That's where we should all be coming together. Because in the end, everything all falls in one great bubble, which is restore the Snyderverse. See what I'm saying? Things are shifting. Be patient. I told y'all, this war that we're in, this invisible war, it's not going to be fought and won overnight. You have to give time for things to fully unfold. And now they're waking up and realizing that they screwed up. Meaning, David Zaslav has screwed up. WB has screwed up. DC has screwed up. Because instead of moving forward with Zack Snyder, they're moving backwards. Nothing, nothing at all. The fact is that the Snyderverse will be restored. Say what you want. People try to deny it and say that we would never get the Snyder Cut. And what do we have today? The Snyder Cut. The same way that we're going to be looking back soon and say, look, we all came together. We fought. I remember when Sia's the director would talk, he would get shit on. People would say all type of stuff, but the Snyderverse is restored. See what I'm saying? That's how things get done. I encourage everybody, respectfully, politely, in the next upcoming days, keep on calling WB. Let them know, express yourself, send them emails, let them know what we want. And of course, you're going to have the fake fans trying to get in and trying to make us look bad. That's not us. We don't do that. We don't roll like that. Us united, we came together and we got the Snyder Cut. If we were able to win the studio, regardless of any excuse, we got the Snyder Cut. That's all that matters. We got it. It doesn't matter because, oh, the studio needed content. Oh, because of this, excuses. We got it. That's all that matters. The same thing needs to happen for and with Restore the Snyderverse. That's why I encourage everybody. That's why you all don't see that I use all these other hashtags, and I just see so many fans using all type of hashtags. I'm not against it, but I'm not with it either. Use it if you want. But the point is, if you, the fan, the loyal customer that's out there, wherever you are around this planet, you want the Snyderverse to be restored, your message should be clear. Restore the Snyderverse. And I'll leave it at that, my friends. So I'll take the next few minutes. We could chop it up and I'll look at some comments and all that good stuff. Like I said, it's amazing. We had to talk about this. We really did. And, I just thank y'all for all the support because this is what we need. We need this. It's enough of these excuses. Enough. It's not working. It's not working. With the Snyder Cut, the Snyderverse, that's what's working. That's what sells. And it still sells because they continue, meaning the studio continues to allow the license for all these other companies to make products. And it sells. That's all that matters. That's the important part. They need to continue the Trinity movie with Ben Affleck, Batman, Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, and Henry Cavill Superman. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Gary. That's what we need. And we'll get in due time. That's the wonderful part about it. All right. Of course, with Ray Fisher, we need him as Cyborg for sure. For sure. He had a big role too, honestly. Snyder Superman needs to be completed. I agree with you, Mad Max, for sure. We need that Man of Steel too. And it wouldn't be coincidence with what I posted yesterday that they want to go ahead and move forward. Remember, before the whole reboot, we were supposed to get right after Black Adam, we were supposed to get Man of Steel 2. But we already know the story, what happens and stuff like that. So it is what it is with that. The Snyderverse is number one. Yes, my friend. Here at DC, that's what was making them money, and that's what got them the fans and the loyal customer that I am today. Ray, true DC want true DC fans want shared universe without MCU influence. I agree with you. I agree with you. Doomsday and Secret Wars is gonna say F you to James Gunn's Superman. Icing on the cake is Justice League 2 and 3, roasting James Gunn's Superman. Yep, I would not doubt that, and I would not be surprised. All right, thanks for watching, Surgeon. Appreciate you for watching. All right, let's see. We could have Batman Beyond, but James Gunn screwed us over. No, exactly. But let me rephrase that. We are going to have a Batman Beyond live action very soon after James Gunn is out. You'll see. We will. Because I have a feeling once the Snyderverse gets restored, we're going to also to get the air cut. And on top of that, we're going to get Batgirl because it's still connected with the DCEU. Don't forget, it's not like WB completely discarded that movie. It's just sitting in a vault right now. That doesn't mean that I would like a Batman film from Zack Snyder before he continues Justice League 2. Yeah, that could be The Dark Knight Returns. Imagine that. Zack Snyder's The Dark Knight Returns with Ben Affleck. Ooh, that sounds awesome. That already sounds like $1 billion movie, honestly. Better than what we're getting with Robert Pattinson. Gunn is extorting DC. It's his last rodeo. The gun circus is over when his Superman flops. Gunn has saved the production money for himself. Exactly, exactly. He's just like Andy Muschietti. They're just taking all the money from the studio, putting it into their pocket, and giving us whatever the hell comes out from it. Exactly. We saw it with Andy Muschietti. We saw that. What up, Pedro? Winning. Yes, you know it. That is exactly what we do. The true DCEU will return. Indeed, it will. Indeed. DCEU was the best thing ever for DC. Yep. Exactly. That's exactly what we want to see from them. And we, the fans, we will stop at nothing. But yeah, all right. So I'm going to let y'all go. I appreciate y'all for watching, all that good stuff. Keep sharing the videos, hit that notification. That way you can see and get notified every time a video goes up. Because I know sometimes the views are funny, but again, it's just the algorithm, So it is what it is. But again, thank y'all for watching, for tuning in, all that good stuff. Y'all have a safe and blessed weekend. I might come back on tomorrow, so just to chill and stuff. We'll see what's up. But yeah, thanks for watching. Stay safe. And again, exactly. We will stop at nothing, my friends. Keep those wallets closed. All right, peace. Till next time.